A woman's prejudice becomes the reason behind a big catastrophe. Everybody who watches movies or TV shows, or plays video games for that matter, knows about The Witcher. However, all some people know about is Geralt of Rivia. But where did he come from? Do you know that? I hardly think so. Hello and welcome to our channel. In this video, we're going to put the spotlight on the animated movie The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. This is going to be a very interesting story because right here is the history behind The Witcher. The video contains a lot of very interesting facts as well, so sit back, eat, drink, and enjoy the movie. Let's dive into it. The movie starts with a man being under attack alongside his kids. Vesemir gets there and saves the man's son from a Leshen in a forest of Kaidwen. The noble boy's name is Sugo. The Leshen then attacks Vesemir, and Vesemir defeats the creature, killing him in the fight. Before dying, the creature says something in an archaic elven dialect to Vesemir, leading him to think that the creature was under someone's control. He then leaves the boy with a sorceress known as Madame Gilchrist. Vesemir is visited by the elf Filavandrel, who thinks the Leshen was controlled by Kitsu, one of many elven girls who have gone missing. The elf asks Vesemir to help him out. Vesemir tells him that he doesn't do anything without being paid, and ends up saying no to the elf. Meanwhile, sorceress Tetra Gilchrist, who hates the Witchers because her mother was wrongfully killed by a Witcher, tries to convince the Kaidwani king to wipe out the witches, but Lady Zerbst, another courtier, is sympathetic to the Witchers and speaks in their favor. After that, we get to see the childhood days of Vesemir, as he reminisces about his youth when he, along with his best friend Ilyana, were servants for a noble. The mistress once was haunted, and Vesemir was sent to bring the herb when he ran into a witcher named Deglin, who saved the lady. After that, Vesemir was enticed by promises of coin and riches. He left the girl he loved behind, and traveled to Kaer Morhen and underwent the training and mutations to become a witcher. We get to see how witchers are made. The trainers first kill them, and then they bring them to life again. This is the essential part of a witcher's training. In the next scene, we are back in the present day, where Vesemir and his friend Luca have been arrested for killing 2 knights in a bar fight. On the other hand, Lady Zerbst persuades the king to send Vesemir along with Tetra to rid the forest of Kitsu. Lady Zerbst turns out to be Ilyana. She personally goes to deliver the mission order to Vesemir, who recognizes her as the now 70-year-old Ilyana. Vesemir is being sent on a mission, and Tetra, who hates witchers, is also going with him on this mission. Vesemir and Tetra set out, and she tells him the story of a young sorceress who was wrongfully killed by a witcher as part of a con. She then says that she's convinced that all witchers are corrupted. They find Kitsu, mutated and now able to cast powerful illusions. He has a basilisk with him. They both fight the monster and kill it. But amidst all this, Kitsu runs away. Vesemir tries to stop him, but he escapes. While the pair is following Kitsu, they come across an old and abandoned elven school, where they find the bodies of the other missing female elves. They rescue the captured Filavandrel, who explains that Kitsu tried to replicate the experiments that were done on her. So it's clear that Kitsu is behind all the girls going missing, and they come to the conclusion that witchers were responsible, as they're trying to create new monsters to keep them in business. Vesemir reaches the conclusion that the monsters he encountered were probably created in Kaer Morhen, and leaves to confront Deglin, the man who trained him. As he departs, Tetra destroys Kitsu's den, finds Kitsu later surveying the destruction, and blames the witchers. Back at court, she likewise tells the king of the witcher's responsibility in the recent monsters' attacks, and the king authorizes her to lay siege to Kaer Morhen. The king is angry at the witchers, and has Luca wrongly executed despite Lady Zerbst's protests. She then escapes to warn the witchers. On the other hand, Vesemir goes to Deglin and confronts him about everything that has been going on. They both fight, and Deglin admits to Vesemir that he has been creating the monsters, including Kitsu. He says that they did it to protect their way of life. The other possible reason is that witchers themselves are monster killers, so they've killed all the big monsters. Since there are less scary monsters out there, now people have started to look at witchers as monsters. So they know that once all the bad monsters are gone, humans are going to turn against witchers. That's why they've been creating monsters. Amidst all this, Ilyana gets there and she alerts them, saying that the king has authorized Tetra to attack Kaer Morhen, and that she is about to get here with an army of monsters. Tetra and the local townsfolk attack Kaer Morhen with Kitsu and her monsters. Ileana helps the Witcher recruits flee into the mountains. When Ileana is about to be killed by Tetra, Vesemir gets there and confronts Tetra, who has captured the mages and is holding them hostage in the basement. This is when Kitsu arrives and plunges Vesemir into an illusion where he married Ileana and had a family. So Tetra uses portals and Kitsu is the one using illusions. However, we see that Vesemir is able to fight and break out of the illusion and engages in a fierce battle with Tetra and her forces. It seems like he's killed Tetra and Kitsu, but it turns out that it was just an illusion, and he instead kills the mages, and now they're not going to be able to make any more Wolf School Witchers. He also stabs Ileana, thinking that he is stabbing Kitsu. Every Witcher that is present there has been killed in the battle, except Vesemir and a handful of students. Vesemir is the only one left who can actually fight. Luckily for him, Deglin gets there in time and saves his life. Tetra reveals she's the daughter of the sorceress killed by the swindling Witcher from her story, before being killed by a dying Deglin. He asks Vesemir to find the recruits and make them into better men before succumbing to his wounds. On his way out of the castle, Vesemir sees Kitsu, but Ileana asks him to spare her life, as she says that she did not ask for this. Vesemir allows Kitsu to flee, and he carries a dying Ileana from the burning castle. Vesemir takes Ileana to a lake, where she always dreamed of living by. When they were kids, Ileana told Vesemir that she dreamed of a lake house, but unfortunately she had never gotten that lake house. But now she's here beside a lake in the arms of the man she loved. The two share a brief moment before she peacefully passes away. There we see a bald kid. His name is Geralt. That kid has no hair on his head because he's going through extra training and experiments that the other boys did not. This is the reason his hair eventually grows back white. At the end of the movie, Vesemir is the only Witcher left with a handful of students. So that is all the time we had today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and do hit the bell icon to remain updated about all our future videos. See you all next time.